Every year on November 19, the world commemorates the International Day of Men. It is a day that was instituted by Thomas Cotas in 1992, and it is also a global awareness day to show the issues men go through on a daily basis, like homelessness, suicide, parental alienation, and lots more. And this day is commemorated, like I said, every 19th of November to show the achievement, the union, and the contribution men make in the home, in the nation, and lots more. It is on this note that I welcome you to another fresh edition of your favorite morning wake-up show, Salve Vicinus, this Monday, November 20, 2023. We are beaming live here in the studios of Divine Mercy Radio Television on the foot of Mount Fako. And like every day, we have so many slots that characterize today's edition of the program. Every Monday to Friday, as from 7 a.m. to 8:55 a.m., we have the slot Our Saint of the Day, our reflection and news in the Pidgin and English language. We'll look at what the papers have for us this morning, our health and beauty tips, our Wear and Smith slot, and exceptionally, from now on, every Monday to Friday, we'll be bringing to you Spot Update, which will be presented by Hilarion Clinton. So today is Monday, and we will have our Spot Update immediately after our newspaper review. And why not? We will celebrate birthdays with some who have their birthdays today, November 20, 2023. So that is how we roll from now to 8:55 a.m., where we'll put a cap on the program Salve Vicinus on DMRTV. As we normally do it as tradition here on DMRTV, we always begin our show with a musical interlude, which is a thanksgiving to God for making us to see a brand new day and a brand new week. So I introduce you to our first musical interlude of the morning, and when I come back, we'll take on our first slot of the morning show, which is our Saint of the Day. You are welcome back from that musical interlude. If you are just joining us this morning, you are welcome to the morning show Salve Vicinus on DMRTV. And like I said before we took on that break, we have slots that will characterize today's edition of the program. We will have a saint of the day, a reflection on news in the Pidgin and English language. We will have our newspaper review this morning with Jude Baku, and our health and beauty tips, and why not our wear and meet. And like I said, from today, every Monday and Friday, we will have our sports update, and we'll celebrate birthdays with those who have their birthdays today, November 20, 2023. And not forgetting, these slots will be accompanied by wonderful musical interludes. So if you're just joining us, you are welcome. Take a seat and enjoy the program Salve Vicinus on DMRTV. And we will unveil our topic of discussion to you very soon. But before that, let us take on our first slot, which is our saint of the day, with Reverend Sister Florence Awambeng, to see who the Universal Church has for us today as a saint.
Today, the 20th of November, we celebrate the feast of Saint Bernward, Bishop. Saint Bernward was brought up under the care of his uncle, Bishop of Urich. Urich sent him first to the Cathedral School of Heidelberg. He completed his studies in Mainz and was ordained a priest. After the death of his grandfather, Bedward became an imperial chaplain and tutor of the Chai Emperor Otto III. In an ecclesiastical dispute with St. Wolfgang, Archbishop of Mainz, Bernward conducted himself in a manner beyond reproach and lived to see his opponents publicly submit to the Holy See. Decision in favor of the bishop. Dear brothers and sisters, this is a very, very short historical background of the saint we are celebrating today, Saint Bernward. But what is outstanding about him is the fact that, having grown up in a parish compound, he had a good grasp of what the church doctrine is. And when he later became a priest, during his appointment as a bishop, there was controversy. And in the midst of that controversy, he stayed fast and continued to live his life as an outstanding priest. He did not get angry with anybody. He did not, make any fuss until the case was judged in favor of him, and he became the bishop of the diocese where he had been appointed. As bishop, he dedicated himself to reforming his diocese and taking care of the spiritual needs of his people. And that is why he is a saint. Now, the life of this man is one you will ask, Sister Florence, you have not told us exactly what this saint did. He did not do anything big. That's to show you that God is not expecting us to do big things, but is to remain consistent in our faith. Because when I reflected on the life of this saint, I ask myself, what exactly am I going to tell my people? What am I going to tell my viewers? But the answer came in my reflection that you don't have to tell them anything extra. Just consistency in the faith, being steadfast, not allow yourself to be thrown around by the wind and be carried away about what is happening. This is what the faith teaches. This is what is expected of me, and I remain and do just that. No matter the distraction, no matter the false accusation, but this is what I am expected to do as a priest. No matter the fighting, no matter the opposition. So that is the answer I got in my reflection when I kept on asking, what has Saint Benward done to deserve to be a saint? It is his consistency in his faith. Today you are in church, tomorrow you are out. Today you are professing the faith, tomorrow you are carried to one place because you are looking for miracle. You are looking for where it is happening now. No. Once difficulty comes, we don't know God again. You profess Christ, yes. And Christ says, come to me, all you who are labored and overburdened, and I will give you rest. But when the burden comes, you want to go to somewhere where a man of God will give you immediate solution. So where is the patient to wait on God for him to take care of our problems? So that is why we are celebrating this feast day today, to show us that we must remain steadfast. We must be consistent in our faith and wait for God to act in his own proper and appointed time. We don't have any right to dictate to God, to decide when God will do what we are asking of him. And even if he does not answer, it is for our own good. Because if God, we are asking for something that God knows he will give us and it will take us away from the faith, he will certainly not give us, because he wants all his children to come back to him, so that at the end of the day, we are going to enjoy the heavenly kingdom. So dear brothers and sisters, wait for God to act. Ask, make your request, and wait for God to act. May God help us to be patient today, especially when we are asking God for something, knowing that he will answer us at the right time.
We say thank you very much, Reverend Sister Florence Awambe, for giving to us our saint of the day this morning. Remember, we always bring to you this slot, not just for bringing sake, but to see what you can emulate and what you can get from the saint. You emulate the good virtues of the saint we celebrate each day in the Universal Church. So that is why we bring to you this slot every day on Salve Vicinus. Thank you once more, Sister Florence Awambe, for giving to us our saint of the day this morning. It is time for us to take on a reflection. Remember, we always begin our day with God and we end our day with God. So Reverend Father Alphonse Wongibe is on standby to give us our reflection this morning, and you can pick one or two things from the reflection he will give this morning, in which you see that maybe as a Christian or an individual you are going away from it. From that reflection, that you can trace your steps. So let's get the jingle to usher us into our reflection this morning.
Good morning, beloved viewers of Divine Mercy Radio Television, and welcome to our morning reflection this day with me, Father Alphonse Wongibe Fonyoy. Our reflection is taken from the Gospel accounts according to Luke chapter 18, verse 35 to verse 43. That is the Gospel of today's liturgy. I read, as Jesus approached Jericho, a blind man was sitting by the roadside begging, and hearing a crowd going by, he inquired what was happening. They told him, Jesus, son of David, have pity on me. The people walking in front rebuked him, telling him to be silent. But he kept calling out all the more, Son of David, have pity on me. Then Jesus stopped and ordered that he be brought to him. And when he came near, Jesus asked him, what do you want me to do for you? He replied, Lord, please let me see. Jesus told him, have sight, your faith has saved you. He immediately received his sight and followed him, giving glory to God. When they saw this, all the people gave praise to God. That is our gospel text for today's reflection, and the theme I wish to propose is, with faith we can regain our sight. With faith in God we can regain our sight. This is the blind man who, seeing Jesus pass by, shouted, Lord, as the normal, ordinary person. And because of that, he could not indeed restored by his own power alone. But hearing that Jesus Christ was passing by, so it is the assurance of things hoped for and the certainty of things not yet seen. Restored physically back to his normal ability to see. Faith restores our sight, spiritual sight, not only physical. The people struggled to rebuke him, to stop him from seeing Jesus, but he persisted all the more because of his fervent faith in the Lord, knowing that God could help him. People may be stumbling blocks to us, or may be like barriers to us to encounter our own individual healings from the Lord. But unless we persist and we are fervent in our faith, then we may stop and not receive our own healings. Let us persist to the very end, irrespective of the barriers we will encounter in our day-to-day lives. To conclude, beloved viewers of Divine Mercy Radio Television, we may say that we are not blind. It was the man of Jericho. Yes, he was physically blind. I, Father Alphonse, am not physically blind. You, beloved viewers of DMRTV, you are not physically blind, perhaps, but there are others who are. The worst type of blindness is spiritual blindness. It is better that someone be physically blind even, but spiritually having sight to see the things of God, than to be physically okay, whereas spiritually we are dead. Let us bring our weaknesses to the Lord, our own spiritual blindness to the Lord.
Thank you very much, Father Alphonse, for giving to us our reflection. This morning, we bring to you our reflection every Monday to Friday for us to renourish our spiritual life and, of course, to replenish our spiritual souls. So, like I said at the beginning of the program, every November 19, 2020, our men are not celebrated globally. Let me not say globally, in some countries like Cameroon. So it is on this note that I welcome you to our topic of discussion this morning. But before I do that, I want to welcome Reverend Father Alphonse Wongibe to the program. Good morning to you, Father, and welcome.
Good morning, Joseph Otto. I'm glad to be here this morning.
How was the weekend?
The weekend was a very hectic one. The numerous masses we had over the weekend in St. Martin the Porres Parish, Bokwango. So it was so heavy and tight.
All right. So just to know that Father Alphonse is the brain behind our topic of discussion this morning. And we have the topic, how true is the assertion men will always be men? And I want to get the first contribution from you, Father.
Thank you so much, Joseph Otto. Normally, we hear day in, day out, men will always be men. And more often than not, it comes from the part or from the mouth of women. You already said that in more countries, we celebrate Men's Day, but only in Cameroon, But whereas we have Mother's Day, we have Women's Day. Is it that our men are not valorized? So, for regarding the assertion, men will always be men. It is more often than not taken from the point of view of either infidelity. My own take regarding men will always be men is not who are indeed of integrity. They are not like that. That's why in teaching marriage doctrine to couples, I tell them, look at your husband. He can't be different from the others. He can't be different from the others. And for that to be possible, it depends on their cordial relationship and openness and truthfulness to one another. So men will always be men for me is 40 and can also be true from those who want that. They should term them that way. But there are men of integrity who their yes is yes and their no is no. Depending on how we want to be, that is how the world also will take us. So the assertion men will always be men can be true for some and not for others. That is my contribution.
Thank you too, Father, and do have a wonderful day. And thank you very much for being on our reflection and giving to us our contribution this morning. Well, televiewers of DMRTV, that is our topic of discussion on your screen. How true is the assertion, men will always be men? And you can send in your contributions via the number on your screen on WhatsApp or on SMS or on our Facebook page on Divine Mercy Radio and TV service. Send in your contribution. We'd like to get in your contributions this morning on our topic of discussion. Before we take you into our newsroom, let us have a short musical break while we prepare to take you into our newsroom to tell you and to show you some big stories we had during the weekend in which it was captured by some of the journalists here of Divine Mercy Radio Television. But before we take you into the newsroom, let's take on this break.
This is useful.
Good morning. You're welcome to Divine Mercy Infos this very 20th day of November 2023. We welcome you to this slot on Salve Vicinus. Now, we take it through a brief of the news items we have this morning. We start on a pastoral visit that happened over the weekend with His Lordship Michael Bibi. We are going to start in Yoke of the Moyoka Dinari, where His Lordship Michael Bibi, Bishop of Boya, has commended the faith of the Christians of St. Teresa of the Child Jesus Parish, Yoke, during a pastoral visit paid to the parish over the weekend. He equally reminded them of the need to stay persistent in prayer and wait for God's approved time. Having existed for 5 years now, the parish St. Teresa of the Child Jesus, Yoke, had its 5th anniversary since it was carved out of the St. Joseph Parish in Moyoka. During the visit, the bishop also found out time to bless the newly constructed presbytery of that parish and dedicated it for use. He congratulated enormously the strides of the Christians in Yoke, who have also done well in constructing the church house and acquiring benches for the parish. Now, for the 5 years the parish has been existing, and after all these achievements, we of DMRTV talked to the parish priest of St. Teresa of the Child Jesus Parish, Yoke, and the parish pastoral chairperson. Let us have their excerpts.
I am Father Tambe Elvis, a parish priest of St. Teresa of the Child Jesus Parish, Yoke. Today, the parish is celebrating faith anniversary. That's fixed 5 years of existence. And so far as the achievements are concerned, we have already the presbytery, which was not there at the beginning of the parish. The project of the presbytery is complete. Also, as far as the church is concerned, we have put benches, which were not there at the creation of the parish. The church also has been plastered and painted. All these achievements were not there when the parish was created. So far, too, we can see the presence of Jesus Christ in the tabernacle. The tabernacle was not also there when the parish was created. So we are really grateful that the Christians are really committed in sacrificing their material wealth to see that the projects in the parish are progressing to the state we can see them just now.
Madam Benja Esther, I be the Parish Pastoral Council chairperson. The Christians are really doing their best as regards the our presbytery. Enter the church, you also see new benches out from the sweat of the Christians. I hereby plead unto our bishop, Bishop Bibi, that we are begging him to continue to support us as he has been so supportive come 2024, because our intentions is to, fence the entire church. So we are begging him for his total support.
From Yoke, that was in Yoke, on Saturday, the 18th of November 2023, when His Lordship Michael Bibi paid a pastoral visit to that parish. From Yoke over to Munya Parish, that's St. Andrew Parish, Munya. It was yesterday, Sunday, the 19th of November 2023, when His Lordship Michael Bibi equally was at that parish, and about 134 Christians have been admitted into the admitted the sacrament of confirmation by His Lordship Michael Bibi. The sacrament of Christian initiation was administered to the confirmandees in the course of a pastoral visit that was yesterday. He administered the sacraments with a call for them to exercise charity in helping the poor, as the Universal Church last Sunday, that was yesterday, celebrated the 7th edition of the World Poor Day, initiated by Pope Francis. Now, let us take you again to our missions to listen to some confirmandees who received their confirmation from the bishop himself. Talk to us.
The sacrament is a very great offer for me, because it strengthens my faith. It has given me the Holy Spirit so that He'll be able to direct me, so that I always walk through the right path to God. He's going to guide me all through my entire life. So it's really important to me, because it has really strengthened my faith. It has strengthened my faith to be a Catholic fully. I'm fully initiated as a Catholic Christian. I feel very happy. I feel very happy because I'm fully Christian. I'm a full Christian now. I'm very happy.
I feel very awesome. I'm happy that at least I fulfilled my Christian life. It's going to cleanse me and it remembers me about my baptism. It's going to bring me to a new Christian life again.
Right, now we take you over to something else. We're talking about the Catholic Charismatic Renewal, the crusade that took place from last week, ended this weekend, and the Charismatic Renewal of the Diocese has successfully concluded a 5-day crusade with the theme No More Delay, which spanned from Wednesday, November 15th to Sunday, 19th of November 2023, and it took place at the Divine Mercy Co-Cathedral Field. The spiritual exercise aimed to bring in spiritual renewal and transformation to the faithful, ended with a Holy Mass presided at by the Bamenda Provincial Chaplain, Reverend Father Moses Tazo, and concelebrated by Reverend Father Vincent Mesue, who is the diocesan chaplain for the Catholic Charismatic Renewal. The culmination of the 5-day crusade was marked by a solemn Holy Mass, which served as a fitting conclusion to the spiritual uplifting event, allowing participants to come together in communal worship and thanksgiving. It provided a sacred moment for reflection on the teachings shared during the crusade and an opportunity for individuals to recommit themselves to their faith. In his sermon, Father Moses Tazo admonished the attendees not to delay in using their talents wisely for the growth of the church and for others. Now let us take you to meet our reporter Hilarion Clinton, who was at that crusade. He talked to Reverend Father Moses Tazo to contextualize the crusade for us.
What I'm telling you that the fire has been lit, and therefore I have to keep the fire burning. In other words, all the word of God that they have shared, that they have received during this crusade, they try to live that word of God, try to practice it every day, and especially they have been living their prayer life. It was a real time for prayer, and that prayer doesn't end here. Just the beginning now for them to pray faithfully, and always, especially when they have problems with their families, to be able to lift up their hearts and minds to God so that God may come and solve their problems.
All right, so today we had a Thanksgiving marking the end of our crusade, the 2023 crusade. We started on Wednesday. We're there throughout Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, yesterday, and then today we're ending with a Thanksgiving. And from the theme of the crusade, delay no more, I think it's enough message for us that, there are so many things in our lives that have been delayed, and with these prayers, massive prayer that we have had in the course of this crusade, we are pleading to God, to intervene so that those delays that our Christians, our members have had in the course of the year, I think with God's intervention, those delays, most of them will come to an end.
Now let us talk something else. We're talking the charitable arm of the diocese, where that's Caritas, under the patronage of His Lordship Michael Bibi, is fostering the livelihood of farmers in communities across the Diocese of Boya. By this, farmers in communities of the Limbe zone have experienced a remarkable improvement through the adoption of agroecological techniques in rearing local birds and pigs within their households. Through the expertise coaching by Caritas staff, some farmers have experienced remarkable increase in the rearing of pigs and local birds, which were donated to them by Caritas last year, 2022. The farmers, most of whom are internally displaced persons, are putting in all efforts so as to realize the goal of engaging into this exercise, which is aimed at enhancing income-generating activities and to increase nutritional intake in their various households. This ongoing activity is carried out under the Sustainable Agricultural and Rural Development Project, which started in January 2022 and is expected to end by December 2024. The said project has as benefactor Moserora, an organization in Germany. Once more, let us take you to listen to some beneficiaries of this project.
Name now Beatrice B from Geme branch. I want to thank God for characters because with their help, with their help, we forgive me one piglet. It don't make me, don't boost me up for saying now I don't get for the interest where we get and two for day. I will make up for way I ask help again from them, from Mr. Emma. He go find me another man. They will give me woman. So he go find me another man. And after that, I get interest again at another woman. We presently, the one way characters give me, that one will be this small thing that they give me, it already born. I be glad for say, he first born. He born 10 picking there, even 2 they don't make them. But presently, I get 8 piglets with the other one there. So I really want to thank God, but I also say, if they see the place where we first make, I will get a small place where we put them. But as they pick the big, as you say, the place small, so I get for go in for loan, for make another structure. We did so if you see the zinc be new, everything be for the new. We don't make up for extend the farm. If you see me the farm to grow. Then alongside for backside, until you don't even see my beds them. I get 4 beds there for day. Where even if I make sound now, they will just run come my corner. So I want to thank God for way to way characters don't do we. At least you don't make away. Even though things they tight me now because I don't say no easy me for fit. That 8 picking there with the mommy with the other one to be pregnant. But I know say God will show way.
My name is Zango Irene. I'm from Limbe, Sokolo. I'm a farmer from the community in Geme. So this is my friend, this is the pig. I collected the pig, that was April 2023. So I'm using the feed to feed the pig. At a time we cook shan, this compound we use some of the chaff for that corn to mix it with the feed and feed the pig. So the pig is fine, really doing good. And now with this pig, I'm already okay. The pig will help me with a lot to open up my workshop. I'm interested. The pig will help me to open my shop.
That's the charitable arm of the Diocese of Boya under the patronage of His Lordship Michael Bibi, the Bishop, there assisting internally displaced persons in sustainable agriculture. Now we take you out of the church to talk society and this time culture of the Southwest people. We are looking at the new fabric for the Southwest region where Southwesterners beautifully dressed converged Saturday, November 18, 2023 on the Boya Independence Square for the official launching of the Eyasu fabric. Eyasu, which means our own. Chief Okole Blessed, a special advisor at the Prime Minister's office, representing the Prime Minister and head of government during the launching ceremony, noted that the fabric portrays the strength and uniqueness of the Southwesterners while calling on them to spread the message of peace, togetherness, and love. The brain behind the fabric is Ewan Grace, the former regional delegate of art and culture for the Southwest region, who was bestowed a title on that day. During the launching ceremony, Ewan Grace, the president of Eyasu, had the title Yangelomo for the conception of the Eyasu fabric. The launching ceremony equally saw a beautiful artistic display and fashion show with the Eyasu fabric, which consists of symbols of the respective regions of the Southwest, which symbolizes peace and unity. Let us take you now to listen to the person who initiated the idea of the Eyasu fabric for the Southwest region 8 years down the lane, and who was honored on Saturday for her enormous strive in enhancing culture and togetherness of the Southwest people. Ewan Grace spoke to the press after that event.
I'm Mrs. Ngo Grace Ewan. I'm the president of Eyasu. I conceived the project with the chiefs. We worked for 8 years. 8 years. We started early in 2016, really, but the idea came in 2014. From 2016, we started working with the chiefs. We are very jealous of their identity. We are people of legendary hospitality. We wear everything that is good, and we needed our own. A simple example is that when there is a serious ceremony, you see Southwest will offer loin, and there was a need to offer loin with Southwest symbols. So every time that they had to offer loin, they were going to the market and just take anything. But the need came to start thinking seriously about what is the loin that we have to offer to people. So you understand that you don't get into people's culture, you just take a symbol and use it like this. So it was necessary that the chiefs of Southwest tell the people who want to use Southwest symbols what is official. So beyond the fabric, as we say, there's a lot.
And now the Eyasu fabric has come to stay. Well, that is Divine Mercy info for you. This morning, that's our newscast. At 7 p.m. tonight, we are going to have these news items fully developed and more for our 7 p.m. evening time newscast. Stay with us on Salve Vicinus. I'll be back shortly with the papers.
Thank you very much, Jude Baku, for taking us into our newsroom this morning and giving us some of the big stories that happened during the weekend. Let us take on the bishop's teachings this morning, and he will be telling us about the significance of prayer, of praying Our Father. So some of us know that Our Father is just a simple prayer and it does not have any meaning. But is that the case? Let us meet Bishop Michael Bibi with our teachings this morning.
Praying Our Father, therefore, brings up or unites us with the life of the Trinity. Praying Our Father also makes us understand that our prayer is not an individualistic prayer. It's not a prayer that belongs only to us. That's why we don't call God my Father. We say Our Father. And we, the members of the church, we already saw that the dogmatic constitution on the church Lumen Gentium in paragraph 9 refers to all the baptized as the people of God. By virtue of our baptism, we become members of the church. And as members of the church, we form one body. Their Father also stands before us like a sign of unity of all Christians, because our brothers and sisters, other denominations, they also pray the Lord's Prayer. So whenever we are praying the Lord's Prayer, it is a sign of unity and communion that is supposed to exist as far as the churches are concerned.
Thank you for giving to us our teachings this morning and telling us about the importance of praying Our Father. And televiewers of DMRTV, we still have our topic of discussion for you this morning. How true is the assertion, men will always be men? Sending your contributions via the number on your screen, on WhatsApp or on SMS or on our Facebook page on Divine Mercy Radio and TV service. And this year has as theme Zero Male Suicide, which is to tell us the importance or highlights the importance of the mental health of men, and also how we can create a suitable environment for men in which they cannot or they will not be vulnerable. So that is the theme the International Day for the Men have for us this year: zero suicide, zero male suicide. That is the theme of the 2023 International Day for Men. Before we take on a newspaper review this morning with Jude Bako to see what the men and women of the Fourth Estate have headlined for us this morning on their front pages as news, let us take on this musical interlude to digest what we have had so far, and we will be back with Jude Bako with a newspaper review. We apologize for that. Let us take on a newspaper review this morning with Jude.
Hello there, you're once more welcome. Good morning to you, Joseph Otop. We are back again on this slot of newspapers. Just to say that, Joe, this morning, like every other Monday, the papers are really many because like I always usually tell the audience, we have papers that publish daily, we have those that publish bi-weekly, we have some that are weekly papers. So sometimes if you go to your newspaper stand and you don't find a paper on a particular day, it could just be that it is not the frequency of that paper. But just to also highlight here that we have a publication in the Diocese of Boya. If broadcasters are well to do on that this morning, we can be able to have the publication of the Directorate of Communication of the Diocese of Boya this morning on our screen. So we can start from there before we go into the secular papers. And equally, the teaching of the Bishop of the Diocese this morning, we have Know Your Faith. Recall too that the Catechism, we now have Know Your Faith, not the Catechism, because the Bishop is touching on every other aspect of the Catholic doctrine. So Know Your Faith this morning is going to be looking at the general introduction of the Roman Missa, and the program is scheduled this 20th November 2023 at Charles Luanga Parish in Moliko from 10:30 a.m. to midday. For those of you who always like following the teaching of His Lordship Michael Bibi, you might want to take that rendezvous this morning. Equally, we are going to look at the brief of the Diocese of Boya. It's a new publication of the Communication Directorate of the Diocese of Boya. Brief, the Boya Diocesan publication. It has on the front page this morning, Christians invited to thank God for safe realization of roof at the Divine Mercy Co-Cathedral. Unfortunately, you cannot have that on your screen. This paper, the brief of the Communication Department of the Diocese, Directorate of the Diocese, is looking at the Divine Mercy Co-Cathedral and telling the Christians, reminding the Christians that on the 22nd of this month, November, Christians will be gathered at that Co-Cathedral to celebrate the magnificent structure that has been constructed so far, and also raise funds to buy benches at that site. That said, I would like us to quickly take on the papers. There are many of them, so that we have time. Let's take on the Herald Tribune. Let's begin with the Herald Tribune this morning. The Herald Tribune of publisher Richard Lajong. It takes on banner stories. It says, Bia's November 6 celebration in Messager, Minister Fukalisto's Gentry redefines development path. Okay, so this story is found on this edition of the Herald Tribune newspaper. We equally have Esther Omam Jumo, who dedicates her 2023 Global Pluralism Award to victims of the Anglophone crisis. And you see on the front page there, she was receiving that award recently for her peace advocacy, and that was on November the 14th in Canada, alongside 2 other laureates. You can read the full details of that story on page 3 of this newspaper. And the paper also takes us at the top right. It says Cameroon loses one of its finest academics, Herbert Mono Njana. Read that on this paper. Now we get to see what the For Us By Us by Tariang Tarbe Enobika. It says Southwest gets its own. Its own there is referring to the Eyasu fabric for the Southwest region that was launched last Saturday, the 18th of November here in Boya. You can read the full details of this story on page 2 of the Advocate newspaper. It equally takes us into Esther Omam's world and says the peace advocate Esther Omam accepts Global Pluralism Award that was in Canada on the 14th of November. Also in this paper, we have this story says feminist movements want gender justice in combating flood and mudslides. You find them post here, the stakeholders who are posted here in Limbe after meeting for a way forward. Read page 4 of this newspaper and get details on what the paper is saying. Nzian SDO calls for population's collaboration against terrorism. Well, the senior divisional officer of Nzian Division, the Southwest region, says terrorism is a peak in that division and is calling on the aid of the population to fight terrorism. You want to read more on page 11 of this paper, and the paper brings to us an obituary which says Donka Molindo, former mayor of Limbe 2, dies. May so rest in peace. Newswatch newspaper by Nzi Eugene takes us through a political article this morning which says political battles in Northwest will be tough. Governor tells CPDM SG if the electoral calendar is respected, then general election, that's the municipal, legislative, and presidential, will be organized in the country in 2025. And this paper says, in prelude to that, the Secretary General of the Central Committee of the ruling CPDM party has been becoming part of the Northwest and Southwest regions and other parts of the country to sell the political agenda of the party. In the Northwest region, Adolphe Lele Lafrique, who is the governor of that region, has told him, the SG, that the battle will be fierce in the Northwest region. Read more on this on page 3 of the Newswatch newspaper. Equally, we are here in this paper that there is flagrant violation of the law as government still keeping 2024 draft state budget 10 days into November session. This story by Sama Jonathan says Parliament has been meeting for 10 days now for the third and last ordinary session for the 2023 legislative year, and the November session opened on Friday the 10th November, both of the National Assembly and the Senate, and is devoted principally to the scrutiny and eventual adoption of the state budget for next year. And according to the law, the members of parliament are supposed to be in possession of the draft state budget of the coming year 15 days before the opening of this budgetary session. And like in previous years, however, the government has again violated this law, which this year, as the draft state budget for 2024 has not yet been tabled in parliament. What is happening? Why is the law being violated? Read page 5 of this paper. Interesting story there to read. And the Ministry of Culture doubles effort to revamp artistic and cultural movement is a story that is written on page 2 of this news. Onana wrote out of Libya's game. Recall that Andre Onana sustained a minor injury, or well, an injury, better to say, during the last game with Mauritius Island. The Ghana Post daily newspaper this morning takes us into the south region of Cameroon. The Ghana Post daily newspaper says Energy Minister Elondo Elsomba Gaston launches solar project to boost electricity supply nationwide. And the paper in its rider says the over 34 billion franc CFA project, when completed, will supply power to at least 87 localities. If you get this paper this morning, the Ghana Post Daily, read on page 3, you'll be edified on this story. As you find on the front page of this newspaper, the Energy Minister, Elodu Esomba, laying the foundation stone of the project as other officials watch on with the Cameroon flag raised to raised there by the onlookers as they unveil the foundation stone. The paper also in its editorial this morning at the top right says 369 political parties in Cameroon dagger on Cameroon's democratic process. Why does the paper see this as a dagger on the Cameroon democratic process? Well, read page. Read this paper, page 4. You'll find the editorial of this newspaper. Equally, the Eyasu fabric highlighted on the Ghana Post newspaper this morning, but with caption saying Chiefs, Elites, launch Southwest Identity Fabric. The story by Shin Timothy says the event last Saturday was led by the Southwest Chief Conference President, His Royal Majesty Moses Obenefunde. We pick on the next newspaper, which is the municipal updates of Chan Victor Bama. This morning's edition, it says, in Zian, SZO delivers BIA's support to vigilante groups. Page 2 of this paper chronicles details of that story. And you find there on the front page of the newspaper, the SZO and other dignitaries at a ceremony to hand to the vigilante groups in Zian division that are fighting what is called terrorism. They were there gathering to hand the gesture of President Paul Biya to those who are vigilante members in that part of the region. Equally in this paper, at launch of Southwest Fabric, Prime Minister's envoy says Eyasu, symbol of unity, or strength and unity. Get to read more on this edition of Municipal Update newspaper. I guess with Municipal Update newspaper, we can, okay, let's take on, let's take on the Voice newspaper. We're going to be able to have the Voice newspaper this morning. The Voice newspaper says Jean Quete's CPDM nationwide campaign stirs early election fever. You recall that Jean Quete, who is the Secretary General at the Central Committee of the ruling Cameroon People Democratic Movement political party, has been moving around, selling the ideas, holding seminars and for the party. And there are already speculations that his movements are indications of an early election in the country, and it's already creating fever and tension amongst political actors in the country. The paper also takes us into this political comment from Nzifo Richard, who is the Assistant Secretary in charge of political education in the opposition party of Cameroon, the Social Democratic Front. And in this opinion of Nzifo Richard, the political commentator, he says, uniting Cameroon's opposition, the only path to defeating Biya CPDM regime. You find for Richard on the front page of the Voice newspaper this morning. You equally have this paper, this story, which says, despite challenges from Anglophone crisis, Benakuma Council records clean sheet in management and store accounts. Read this story and you find what Mayor Himbro Solomon Kodi is doing in Benakuma Council. Northwest Regional Assembly quietly shifting dynamics 30 months on. The 12th session of the Northwest Regional Assembly has been held, and a series of life-transforming and mind-blowing development works being highlighted. As you see on the front page here, Professor Furo Angwafo, who is the president of that assembly, gathered his team as they equally looked on for to chart a better way for that assembly. Let us take on the Horizon newspaper very quickly, which says MTN mobile money. Horizon newspaper indicates that MTN mobile money new rates operational today. What are the new rates that mobile money or MTN Momo will be taking? Page 7 of this paper chronicles that. Creating of 40 political parties. UDP chairman says Minat, that's the Ministry of Territorial Administration, boss Atanganjipo, blundered in launching them and not the other way around. Regret less than 2 Anglophones head new wave. Means in the 40 political parties, there are just 2 parties that are headed by Anglophones. The paper equally takes us into the launching of the Eyasu fabric in the southwest region over the weekend. We move over to the Dawn newspaper very quickly. We say spectacular unveiling of Eyasu. The Dawn newspaper published by Akborem Solomon in Limbe says Southwest cultural identity triumph. That was over the weekend. This story written by a Tengeneng Larry Kevin in Boya. And equally in this paper, we have the Silicon Mountain Conference that took place last weekend, bringing together youth interested in tech in the southwest region. The paper brings to us an obituary in memoriam. His Royal Majesty Chief Elkanah Molua Mese rests in peace. Read this paper on page 12 and find out who this this chief is. Cameroon Echo by Nziba William Etue. It says, at SWEC midterm General Assembly or General Meeting, Southwest Chiefs, Lord Pamor, CDC Management for Resilience, and pledge unflinching support to keep cooperation afloat. You find that in this edition. Meme SZO repeals prefectural order designating Kwakwa Bakundu Chief, says administration was induced into error. Find out how he retracted or he took that decision that was that already appointed a chief of Kwakwa Bakundu. He says the administration was not informed, and page 7 tells us, it takes us into that debacle. Campaign to terrorize terrorists in Zian, says the paper on its page 4. SO Gilbert Baldena hands in presidential gifts to vigilante groups, and Global Pluralism Award winner Esther Omam boasts Cameroon's image in Canada. Find that in this edition. Thousands bid farewell to Boya Administrative Court Judge, Justice Chief Lonje Martin. Now, we move to the Volcanic Times, publisher in Boya, by publisher Charles Mbola. Volcanic Times says, well, the paper this morning looks so royal. Most stories are royal stories. This one first says, build up to Fako Mbando. His Royal Majesty Ngando Peter III, Edenau Community hosts His Royal Majesty Esoka Endele, a steering committee. You read this story on the page 3 of this newspaper as a Bibonde Bokondo clan apart to host a Fako Bando festival. You find on the front page the notables, the chiefs. That's Chief Ngando Peter III and his guest, His Royal Majesty Dr. Robert Esuka Endele on the right, the paramount chief of Boya. And in Bokwango Chiefdom, we are told that His Royal Majesty Kena Molua Mese unites with ancestors. Page 4 announces his demise. He lived from 1928 to 2023. And 6-in-1, Southwest blends cultural riches and launches the Eyasu fabric. That was over the weekend. You find on the front page the event at Bongo Square. We are going to end a newspaper review this morning with the COP28 special of the Eco Look. We are talking leadership now. Eco Outlook newspaper says African youth demand global leaders to double climate adaptation finance. Pages 6 to 7. You find African youth on the front page of this newspaper who are demanding for this special intervention. We equally have an interview in here with Dr. Sambe Emmanuel on page 3, which says we need vital equipment to save lives. Now, the paper equally takes us into the COP28 in Bangem, which says Bangem goes green with Kampiachi CNCD landscape restoration. That story is written on page 8 of this paper with publisher Ngalame Elias Tungwe, who made sure we had this edition of Echo Outlook newspaper this morning. Let us see if we can go back to our machines and have a brief of the Diocese of Boya, if we can. Nice, beautiful. Joseph, we have the brief there. Well, it is published by the Directorate of Communication of the Diocese of Boya. You find that the story written by former Chap Mira Bell this morning, highlighting the beauty of the Divine Mercy Co-Cathedral and saying that it is a key project of the diocese, which on the 22nd, that's 2 days from now, that should be Wednesday, the population of the diocese will gather at that Co-Cathedral to celebrate the milestone journey so far. We'll definitely be bringing to our viewers. And the paper equally has another story. It says CUIB partners with Delaware State University, that's in the USA, to organize an international conference. And the conference it took place last week and was on the theme Nutrition and the Management of Chronic Diseases. We have here Dr. Bison from the Delaware State University, who was there. Living Water Catholic Charismatic Renewal Diocese of Boya organizes a 5-day restoration crusade beginning November 19th. You find on the front page of this paper, it says Bishop Bibi prays for crusade attendees. You recall that there was a mass at that crusade last week, which His Lordship Michael Bibi equally had time to pray with those who went there for the crusade. Joe, the papers are many, especially of the French press, but like we always say, we cannot bring all the papers. You can just make a stop at the stands, whichever city you find yourself in Cameroon. If you stop at the stands, you're going to find a good chunk of these papers. You get a read, because sometimes just looking at the front pages, you might want to think that you know the stories, but when you get into the flesh, you get into the building, you have the beauty, the beauty of it. So that's a newspaper review this morning on Salve Vicinus.
Thank you very much, Jude, for giving to us our newspaper review this morning. And as he rightly said, you can pass by any newspaper stand wherever you find yourself, whichever locality you find yourself. You can pass by any newspaper stand and you grab a newspaper and get informed, get more details on the stories he has reviewed for you, captioned on the front pages of some English-speaking newspapers here in Cameroon. Good morning to you, Jude, and welcome.
Thank you very much once more, Joseph, for having me this morning.
How was the weekend?
It's always, when it's weekend, we're always happy. When people are happy that it's weekend for us, it's always a moment to get to work, because we have to come back on Monday with more content for our viewers. Yes. So it was a good weekend with work. When you do what you like you're working for the Diocese of Boya, you know that God is at your back and you're happy. Yes. So it was a good weekend.
All right, so today we have the topic of discussion: how true is the assertion, men will always be men? You are a man, so I would like to get your own contribution on this. How true is the assertion, men will always be men?
Well, men will always be men. Somewhere too, I've also heard that women will always be women, and then children will always be children. Yes, I think it is the whole idea there is just to say that there are specific qualities, ideas, notions, philosophies, thought, and way of life patterns, mantra that men possess. That at the end of the day, no matter how you go, you still come back to those things. You know, and men will always be men. No matter how you go, you never take away anything from a man. Beginning from the physical appearance, the way God created a man. Man has his quality, man has his own role to play in the existence of creation. And men will always be men, especially for those who think that, because there are many gender advocates today who think that they can take a place. I've heard many of them. I always laugh over this issue. They say, where a woman wants to feel, I am a man.
What a man can do,
what a man can do, a woman can do, and even better. We are not denying some women can do. But what a man can do, a woman cannot do.
Okay.
Let me be very specific. There are 110,000 things that a man can do, a woman cannot do. Let us agree with that and conclude on it. The same way, what a woman can do, a man cannot do. So we have our meeting points on some things that we can do collectively. But there are still some things that men will always be the men. You cannot. That's why Mugabe said one time that if the West is telling us, Africa, that a man should get married to a man, he's going to, if he finds homosexuals in his country, he's going to lock both of them in a room until the one person comes out pregnant. You understand? So the man's, there's no way you can switch me to you as a woman. Man will be man. Man is the head of the family. Let it be. Woman has the role in the family. Men will be men. And when we are celebrating men, women are, I don't know why they have a bias. I'm not seeing it everywhere. That happy Men's Day, happy men, but it's women. Everyone will be happy with Men's Day.
Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day. So I don't know why they are treating us like that. But all the same, men are men. We are taking the bullet. It's our role. It's our responsibility. God has given us the strength. And I think that we'll keep moving as men.
Of course.
Yes, we are men.
Thank you very much, Jude, for that wonderful contribution. Greet some persons this morning.
I want to greet my baby sister. Who is, she always takes out time to watch DMRTV, even on her phone when traveling. She is in Tole, not far from here. I'm talking about Mba Nancy. Okay, she and her husband, she just wedded. I'm wishing you a happy marriage life. But the wedding proper is coming up this Sunday.
Okay.
So I'm wishing you and your husband a happy marriage life. And to all those watching us from Tole this morning, good morning and happy start of a new week.
Thank you very much, Jude, once more for taking us to our newspaper review this morning. And we hope to meet with you again tomorrow for this slot.
Most definitely, I'll be here.
All right, so do have a wonderful day today.
Same to you, Joseph.
All right, let us take on a short musical interlude while we usher Hillary Clinton on with our sports update. Remember, I said at the beginning of the program, from now on, every Monday and Friday, we'll be bringing to you a sports update. It's always necessary to be informed, not only on news stories, but also on sports stories in a country and out of the country. And still remember, we have a topic of discussion for you this morning. How true is the assertion, men will always be men? There you have the access code. Send in your contribution through SMS or through WhatsApp on our Facebook page on Divine Mercy Radio and TV service. While waiting on your contribution, let's savor this beautiful piece.
You are a soldier! Yes, sir. All you need to do is just to say, Master, I can hear you. Get on, man. Send me. I am a soldier at the battlefield, waiting to hear the voice of my commander. Oh, Jesus, if you call my name, I will answer 1,000,000,000 times. I am a soldier at the battlefield, waiting to hear the voice of my commander. Oh, Jesus, if you call my name, I will answer 1,000,000,000 times. Hey! I am a soldier at the battlefield, waiting to hear the voice of my commander. Oh, Jesus, if you call my name, I will answer 1,000,000,000 times. Who is calling my name? Oh, Jesus is calling my name. Oh, Jesus, if you call my name, I will answer 1,000,000,000 times. Who is calling my name? Oh, Jesus is calling my name. Oh, hey, Jesus, if you call my name, I will answer. Let me hear. Hey, Hey! Are you ready to answer the call of God? Billion times. When God call your name, billion times. Your response, billion times. Hey! I am a soldier. I am a soldier at the battle, waiting to hear the voice of my commander. Oh, Jesus, if you call my name, I will answer a billion times. I am a soldier at the battle. I am a soldier at the battle, waiting to hear the voice of my commander. Oh, Jesus, if you call my name, I will answer a billion times. I am a soldier. Oh, I am a soldier at the battle, waiting to hear the voice of my commander. Oh, Jesus, if you call my name, I will answer a billion times.
Thank you very much to our broadcaster this morning for giving to us that wonderful piece. Now it is time for us to take on Art Sport Review this morning. Like I said, it is very important to be updated on some news stories in our community, and why not updated on some of the sports stories in our country and out of the country. So it's on this note that I welcome to you our sport reporter, Hilarion Clinton, here in the studios to give us our sport review. Good morning to you, Hilarion.
Good morning, Joe. It's a pleasure to be part of Salve Vicinus this morning.
It is a pleasure having you this morning to give us our sports review. So can you just give us a tip on some of the big stories happening when it concerns sports?
Of course, anyone who is a lover of sports will know now that the biggest news on sports is the qualifiers for the FIFA 2026. But people are still doubting the format which is being played at. So that is just a tip of what we shall be discussing today.
All right, televiewers, I hope you are glued to your screen and you're ready for Hilarion Clinton this morning to give us our sports review. Over to you, Hilarion.
Yes, let's begin our sports review this morning. We start with Isosa of Limbe. Isosa of Limbe, if our technician is ready, let's have the images there. There is a friendly match which has been pitted between Isosa and a club from Chad. This friendly match will be played tomorrow, and we note that this friendly match which will be played tomorrow with this club from Chad is a club known as PSI. This match will be played at the Limbe Centenary Stadium as from 3:30 tomorrow, as from 1:30 tomorrow rather. And in that game, these team are using it. These visitors from Chad are using it as a platform where they can prepare for the next season's CAF Champions League preliminaries, which is coming up very soon. And on the other hand, it is Isosa of Limbe, this Southwest club, who thinks that it is time for them to go back to that drawing board and have this friendly encounter with an international club to be able to determine the outcome of their next game. Recall that Isosa of Limbe have recently suffered from a two consecutive defeats in the MTN Elite 2 Soccer Jamboree journey, as they were defeated of recent in their last game. So this friendly match, according to the management, will serve as a platform where they can go back to their drawing boards and return and redraw their tactics to prepare for the next game. And in that, we note that that game will be played tomorrow at the Limbe Centenary Stadium. It is a friendly match pitted Isosa of Limbe versus PS of Chad. That if you had a chance, you can go and have the beautiful, brilliant and performance of local football players. And the match Isosa will be playing tomorrow is coming after 8 years when they have not have this international friendly with any country. So it is going to be an interesting one. Away from that, we shall be taking you to the Lime, still in the football in the southwest region, where we shall be talking about Opopo, that is Victoria United, alias Opopo, that is One People, One Power, and Victoria United recently they had their victory, and this victory is coming in their victory in the MTN Elite One journey. You note that this victory is coming after some periods of time where Victoria United have been suffering from shambolic defeats and draws, a recent situation that many have been beckoning for a solution. But as this time around, in their last game, they defeated Young Sports Academy, and Young Sports Academy, they defeated Young Sports Academy of Ndikum Blaise. And we note that this defeat is coming at a time where Ndikum Blaise has just been awarded a CAV license category A, where he has been awarded a category A license, which means he has the status of coaching in any team. And when we look at that, we look at somebody who has just been awarded a coaching license and suffering from a defeat. It becomes a very situation that many are still doubting. But all in all, it is a journey for Victoria United as they succeed in their MTN Elite One journey. We note that in their match day 8, which was pitted against Young Sport Academy, it was a 2-0 victory when they defeated this club in Buda. And by this defeat, they end their 540 minutes of recording defeats. It has been 540 minutes, and when you take that 540, some person will be asking, how can a game be 540 minutes? We're talking about dividing that 540 minutes into 90 minutes. We will have different subsequent games that Victoria United have not secured any victory. So this victory is coming as a point where they can be able to step up and go further. They, as of present, Victoria United are right now at the 4th position of the MTN Elite One Soccer Jamboree, where they have played 7 games and they have won 2 games. They have recorded 2 draws and 3 defeats with 8 points. And then when we look into that, we shall take you to immediately to the MTN Elite One table, where in the MTN Elite One, if our technician is there, we can have that image where we look at the games that were played over the weekend. That is the results for the games of this week, and that is Pool A. And in Pool A, we have some of the clubs there. It has been a very interesting weekend for the MTN Elite One competition, where this match has been able to take place, and the beautiful supporters out there were being entertained by their local players. That is Pool B of the competition. And we note that looking at that game, we can see the results of many clubs who are performing and who are mounting up. But we can note of some of our Anglophone clubs that are suffering defeats as well. We're talking about PWG of Bamenda, who were recently defeated. We're talking about Bafmen. Bafmen is at the level of MTN Elite 2. Some of these clubs at the level of Southwest region are suffering from defeats. That is the MTN Elite 1 the classification as far as match day 8 concerned, and that is Pool A. And in Pool A, we have Dynamo of Douala who are topping. We have these Canon who are coming at the 3rd position. We also have our own people who are coming there, because we are looking at PWG of Bamenda, where they are right at the 8th position. And without their performance, if we have classification B, we are looking at classification B there, where Stade Renat is topping. Cotton Sport follows as well. Fuvu Club is at the 3rd position, and we have Victoria United alias Opopo who are at the 4th position of that classification. And we shall be diving out of that, where we'll be taking you to the recent, when we talk about what is making news in the world of sports now. We're talking about the 2026 FIFA qualifiers, which is making waves now. And recently the Indomitable Lions of Cameroon played against Mauritius, where they defeated Mauritius by 3-0. After that defeat, I hope that defeat, that victory is no longer newsworthy. For some of our fans there who have been following sport, we note that that games has been making waves on social media, and some are even criticizing some that it was not a game where Cameroon was supposed to win by 3 goals, but rather Cameroon would have been counting from 5 goals up. And then apart from that, the Indomitable Lions of Cameroon are already in Benghazi, where they will be playing Libya tomorrow. And this is the format of the new qualifiers at the level of Africa, where we have the new qualifiers level in Africa. That is the group where this group have been split into groups of 9, and in these groups of 9, CAF is anticipating, CAF is supposed to have 9 spots, and in these 9 spots for CAF, we are looking at the situation where CAF, these 9 spots for Africa, the 9 spots will be coming from different groups. Any team that qualifies automatically qualifies or emerge as top from their group is already a candidate of the FIFA 2026 competition. And when we look into that, we take you to our classification table, where look at these are some of the brilliant performance as far as match day 1 is concerned. And now we have in Pool A, Egypt is topping. We also have in other pool where we shall be taking you to Pool B. In Pool B, it is the Democratic Republic of Congo who are topping, and in Pool C, it is Lesotho who are topping with a draw. That team has been that club. That group rather has been a very democratic, dramatic one. In Group G, we have our own Cameroon, where Cameroon has 3 points after that defeat, after that victory against Mauritius, and they will be facing Libya tomorrow. And then we have Zambia in Group E, followed by Morocco. And then in Group F, we have Cote d'Ivoire, who are the hosts of the 2023 CAF competition coming up in January. In Group G, we have Algeria, who are topping with 3 points as well after their 3-1 victory. We also have in the next group, we have Tunisia, who are topping with 4 goals defeat after their 4 goals victory. And then in Group I, we have Comoros. Comoros are topping their group with 3 points. We are looking in that group, we have the likes of Ghana, Madagascar, and that is just all about the level of the format in which we have now. And immediately we take you to the in Benghazi, where the Indomitable Lions of Cameroon arrived yesterday, and they had their training session, as we can see on our gadgets there. We have some of the players who yesterday, last evening, they were making fit, and some people are doubting now in the midst of this training, where we don't have people like Andre Onana. We recall that Andre Onana suffered from an injury in the last game which they played against Mauritius. He left the field, and people are doubting now in the absence of Andre Onana, who comes in as the goalkeeper. Of course, we have a man there who is talking about Fabrice Odua, who performed brilliantly into the 2017 AFCON in Gabon, and he will be, I'm sure he will be fitting in the shoes of Andre Onana. As of now, the condition of Andre Onana is critical, and he has gone back for medical care. And with that, the Indomitable Lions of Cameroon will play Libya tomorrow in Benghazi, where they will be pitching, they will be having a ticket for the FIFA 2026 qualification games which are going on, and it will be counting for match day 2 of the competition. And when we look into that, we see it is what we have for you, and we note that the match against Libya tomorrow, it is going to be the 8th time. It will going to be the 8th time that Cameroon will be knocking horns with Libya. And in that game, we are talking about they have played 8 games, and in all of those games, Cameroon have recorded 6 victory, recording 6 victory. They have recorded 1 defeat as well, and some draws. And this match of tomorrow, which will be played at 5 p.m., will be the 8th encounter between these two country. And that is the update that we have for you as far as sport for today's edition is concerned.
Thank you very much, Hilarion Clinton, for giving to us our sport update this morning. And why not updating us of some of the things which is happening in the world of sports. I'll introduce him again. Good morning to you once more, Hilarion, and welcome.
Thank you very much, Joe.
How was the weekend?
It was a good one, but you know, weekend as some ways like a platform for us to work more. So it is not like maybe some of us go flexing. There is always a continuous working system.
All right, shortly before we take leave of you, today we have the topic of discussion: how true is the assertion men will always be men? I would like to get your own contribution this morning on this topic of discussion.
I think when we are talking about this topic, we are looking at a level where ladies are using that assertion to say that that the men will never change in their character. But when we look at all, it is not just about the men. It is not any human being will not change from his or her nature. Whether you are a lady, you are a man, or whoever you are, you will remain in your same character. So it is just an assertion that ladies, or let's say ladies, use to define the system of men not changing in their character and behavior. I think that is just what I have to say about that.
All right, thank you for your wonderful contribution this morning in relation to our topic of discussion, which Salve Vicinus to some people out there this morning.
Yeah, if I'm to wish Salve Vicinus, I would do that to all the fans of sport, and those who are watching this program this morning.
All right, we hope to meet with you again on Friday to give us our sports updates. Like I said, Hilarion Clinton will be here every Monday and every Friday after a newspaper review to tell us what is happening in the world of sport. How true is the assertion men will always be men? That's a topic of discussion we have for you this morning. You still have a little bit of time to send in your contribution before we pack our bags out of the studio to make way for other programs this morning. And that's the access code on your screen through which you can get to us this morning on WhatsApp or on SMS or on our Facebook page on Divine Mercy Radio. Details, the stories, and where you go highlight time the morning time. So now time for Meet Up Kenjaman with our PG News this morning. And when we come back from that PG News, we go, if we get birthday way, so people they get that today, we go celebrate time with them, and then we go close the program for today, for prepare for other programs them, and for prepare for come meet up you again tomorrow morning time as from 7 a.m. But right now, we'll meet up Kenjaman with our PG News.
Special salute for all man where is stopped by just now. The follow Daso Divine Mercy Radio Television as una sabi as coach put the wait happen na time for we say for blow to rifuna for pigeon as una here and so for Santile. Send story for today na equally Mukusa Franklin from Synod office for Beya which he talk for send story coach put them say he dey so foul the work and for roadway he could pick something for Nyama. Waiting Mukusa Franklin talk for sense to record for them. Say it is so foul. It is work and have a roadway if he picks something for Nyama. We salute all my stop by just now as na time for we for blow to re for pigeon. Mo quick Jesus parish, okay, now they with the land as na take siam so coach put there wait to take happen. Papa Bishop, his Lordship Michael Bibi, he sep if he decide for go waka Christian them population as we know say Bishop go for some place nim not only for Catholic Christian them, nim not only for Christian them, now for people there in general for that locality as it takes some. So that we learn for they say come good, here to welcome for we parish, welcome for we yoke, as na sabi say yoke, coach put them yoke. Now one of the villages away, it don't suffer where the bitterness of this crisis, Anglophone crisis, as na takes some. After that, we happen matter of a ceremony for Holy Mass. It be kickstart for inside St. Terence of the Child Jesus Parish, okay, for inside Moyoka Dinery as na take so for some time. Which happen they follow into the work for Moyoka Dinery like their Dean, Reverend Father Aztec Bernard, you to be did Tron and all that follow them where they did for inside Moyoka Dinery as stay so for some time. Which happen Bishop Joseph, of course. He used to say they encourage them for that strong belief for this difficult time, where especially UK in particular, they face them as they happen so for some time. Now parish choir too, they be animate for ceremonial, for Holy Mass as they take them. After that family photo, it be take happen and plenty different other activities them, it be take happen so as Bishop, it be bless their father's house, presbytery, where father they stay there just now. For 2 p.m. we will hear more for that one, as well as animation, where they will take and entertain Papa Bishop, chorus singing, ballet, and other activities them as we take happen so for some time. For 2 p.m., no miss that palava so as we take when I so for some time. You could hear more for that end. We leave a chapter, we enter for matter for inside crusades. Yes, Boya Dasusan crusade will be signed up for winner over the weekend. You don't finish CCR as we take when I saw for some time. Catholic Charismatic Renewal Crusades. Now they be organized where it be a restoration crusade as we tell now na be siam have Bishop to be did wait happen. Now the last day this will be happen so for inside Divine Mercy Cathedral. Remember say the palava the crusade said it will take happen now for inside the X-Planet. For inside Divine Mercy Cathedral Parish as they take Siam so. Now how the crusade will take end? How it will take pass? Now we will ever bring up for so wait for 2 p.m. We now equally we hear more for that palava. How it will take pass? How it will take end? A 5-day restoration crusade on the theme no more delay. Revelation chapter 10, line 6. We now hear them. That's all for 2 p.m. How the Sound crusade it will take end for some time. We leave a chapter, we enter for Manfe side, they could put them for inside Manfe, wait happen. After that's all where Mama de CWA, they will get their annual general Ndongame, annual general meeting where they will showcase plenty of other things them. This time around, now for inside Manfe diocese, all the zonal schools, as well as the diocese school them, for CWA, they be answer prayer for that service St. Francis Xavier Chapel for inside their pastoral center, where the head boy, his lordship, Aloysius Fondo, he to be very tron as the palava will kickstart the Holy Mass. After that, they will showcase their thing to their exhibition, in the way they will bring them for cash showcase of a coach so where it takes them so probably to be assessed as it be worker. Now it happen after that, Ndongame it be kickstarts proper when an AGM annual general meeting. Where it comprises of all the outside school them for Manfe diocese, as well as zonal, divisional, and other school them for member of the Catholic Women Association (CWA) for some time. For 2 p.m. too, now we hear more for that palava so as it happen. We come up little chapter. We carry now. We enter now for that side for inside Caritas palava. What happen? Caritas, for inside that's what through his lordship Michael Bibi. What happened? They be go assess, they be go evaluate the project the way they be hand and out for IDP them. For people the way they become sign for projects. Remember I say Caritas he do charitable arm. For inside that's what through his lordship Michael Bibi. As you say I'm so project them like for real kunyam them. Kunyam when a pig shrine like that. Project for real fowl, bed them. Project for real goats and plenty other animal them. As you take say so they will go for fee, write down for fee, for go see how this they will benefit from this project, how the project is doing the worker, how it don't dey go as una take see am so for some time. Sabi say character dey do plenty different other thing them through his lordship Michael BB as una take see am every day with the sound of una wey dey be lang say chop for IDP them mantras and plenty other thing them. This time around na projects wey e dey take happen so for some time. For 2 p.m. we go tell una more for that palava una go hear am, una go sabi am, and una go hear too from this beneficiary the way they be benefit from this project them, how the project dey go. E don dey waka. How many shrines did you get and so far? You will be sign one shrine. How many day now? When I could hear them, so for 2 p.m. as we take when I saw for that palava as it waka. We leave that chapter, put them, we carry one now. We na sabi say for sharp money time so to read for Divine Mercy, PG News, na light refreshment. Now while we do langua, we na the siam, that's PG News Flash. For 2 p.m. we take time now, langua to read in greater details. We enter for inside matter for southwest, what happen? Lapa way it could represent southwest. It don't come out. They don't launch am. Remember say some lapa, some close day way where some are wear and so. You just know say hey, the man Bamida man, the man come on have end for Bamida Northwest region. When I sabi the close no, for 2 p.m. I will show when that close when I was see am. Nine way people of the southwest region. Then too they don't come out with their own lapa too. Yes. Eyaso, that's what they call them. Eyaso. That's what they call the lapa in name. Wait till they use the lapa for identify put the two for southwest region as we quickly identify northwest put them. The man about man. All they close from the address we shall know them. Wait till happen. This project so it will be headed by the Southwest Regional Delegate of Culture, Madam Ewa. What happen? The chief of the Southwest too, they be rally behind, they be join with ye for see how we they feel launch this lapaso with the talk so. Religious authority they be there, traditional rulers they be there, head boy them, youth them, they be there tron for see how we they feel weakness this palava. Now that way the palava be happen so. What happen? Kind wine, kind style them for the lapa. They be showcase them. They call it fashion parade. As I say, I'm so. Yes. Where if it's so kind method, kind style. Where you like them, neither so as I say, I'm so for that southwest lapa. Where they call them a yaso. It daily how we northwest they get their own clothes. Where if you just see and so you know say na. So for 2 p.m. as I tell you now, we could bring up una momo na we see them. And Southwest chief them too, they be give Madam Regional Delegate for Culture, they be give Musanga, they be give title. We na hear more to concerning that title as we take when I saw for some time. Mu jam to river this morning time, because put them wait it take happen, wait it take pass. Fire incident for that side for Bukwango. Ibade fire wipe store them. Fire wipe houses them. For inside Bukwango side around the junction as nice sense. That fire, it passed fire safe. It passed the word fire. Oh! What it really happened? How the fire do start? That's where the news lies. Now, two of 2 people na go yell because how the fire catch so we will land for them with lugu and talking stick. We put on for the people to be affected for the fire incident. We not hear how they go talk for we as population be struggle for see how we the people quench this fire. Fire that's what they did nayo as na sad incident so during this period where all man in the cut teeth dot eyes for chop Christmas. During the period man the cut eye dot teeth for see how we all thing if you take work so for that palava so. You know easier. This one now what to read when I take Sam so other one they climb for the zinc for quarter so that made the fire cross for the other side them as I take Sam so for some time. Plenty damages them, it destroy and it burn. One of they store them, the man be saying gas and plenty other thing them, even thin. Move on for inside one of the store as we take them when I saw for that fire palava where it happened for Bukwango side all around Bukwango junction. So for 2 p.m. too, we now hear more as the people that be affected, they will talk for with a talking stick, how the fire do start, why the fire do first start, as it happens so for some time. All right, we'll leave on for here for today, for this ceremony time. Now that's all for 2 p.m. again. Kenjaman, he would be here with plenty different other to read them. Well, I never even mention of una. That time to read, it would then in greater details. That's all for 2 p.m. We will meet up, contribute them.
I want to say thank you plenty, King Jaman, for that highlights the way you don't give with the morning time. And remember, as he talk for 2 p.m., he go come back where he go give details and for the story way he don't highlight the morning time for we. Good morning, King Jaman, and welcome.
Good morning, Staffman Otop Joseph.
How for you the morning time and how the weekend?
No, you see, a weekend are meant for resting. But as probably you always would tell a Christian them, for Divine Mercy Radio Television, they don't get weekend. So the weekend, it be there as usual, as how it would always work, 24 and 24. For ensure say, where they come, they follow me, may they get to where they need to get them, as far as information, it be concerned.
The way we come out today, King Jaman, I only look at you.
You tell me say, if you talk now, so you are a minor, so I'm going to be surprised. Yeah, so. Ken Jaman come on, the British man today.
Come on, like presidential guard. But I like your style. I like how you come out today.
All right, thank you very much. I just say all man to the shock of a CID. We talk Ken Jaman to say he come out bam today for some time.
But before you go, Ken Jaman, I want to ask you. Some talk the ever be way man go always be man. Some they talk say woman go always be woman. But today the ask for viewer say man go always be man. How true this thing be?
Man go always be man. When man he do to a man, he get for do.
Okay.
Yes, because as we deal with society, the years say woman man or when a man woman, it happen. When me say now when you see some man decide for the do a woman thing them, that one now be man pick again. Again now man picking organ, but he do a woman thing them. So what I think now say man it will be man now where he do thing where man he get for do. Okay. You know we expect say man boy could put earring. That one a man woman now with the same. It means he be man picking. So man it could be man where he do man thing them. Yes. I know say wife they will best put up where I talk about man, a responsible man, plenty things they go do as man picking. For woman, the woman will best stay more for that palaver as they talk.
Thank you plenty, King Jamal, for your contribution. Salute some people there in the morning.
And the kick salute for the Manfred houses as well as for Daso Kumba. Yes, we will not forget Kumba for them. And the salute will not for that side for Kusala side. Why not for that side for inside Cathedral, for inside Kumba houses, and we salute the bishop as well. And all Christian them,